I mean, first of all, you have to have goals and objectives. I mean, that is the an important part once the team and the why is answered. But but that's not sustainable. Simply telling someone that they have to go do something, they have to meet the sales quota, they have to finish this project, or there will be consequences, is a good short-term way to motivate people. I will go do something because if you tell me if I don't do it, I get fired. I'll do it, but that's not sustainable. The sustainability comes from the team and answering the question why, which in our classes and our trainings I harp on all the time, is why should I, as an individual contributor to your team or to the larger organization as a whole, whether that's a sports team or a company with 20,000 employees, why should I give you all my time, all my talent, all my energy, quite frankly, time, talent, energy that I'd like to spend in other places, like with my family or my newborn son or friends or whatever, just not being here? Why should I give you that? The best leaders in my experience, both people that have led me or that I've watched lead others, have been able to not only answer that question individually to each of the people that they lead, not only to answer it, but to answer it continuously, because it changes. And I'll give another great example, because we want to bring this down not from the Atlantic but to something a little bit smaller, where people that are listening can say, yeah, okay, but I'm not crossing the Atlantic. I'm not doing all these things. Like, what can you do for me? I mean, sure. I started rowing at a very small, unknown school, Sonoma State University in the wine country of California. People didn't even know they had a rowing. I didn't even know they had a rowing team. I played baseball for them until I got injured. The rowing coach came up to me. I didn't even know we had a rowing team.
Yeah.
As it turns out, he was one of the greatest mentors and coaches I'd ever met, because he went around the school and basically just recruited. He had no money to recruit. He couldn't give scholarships. So he just went and looked for people where he could answer that question why. And every morning, as we'd be at that boathouse in the dark at 5 a.m., getting in boats, cold, and wondering why we're there, he would have something where he was able to answer that question, where he's like, look, we're going to row against Stanford, who doesn't even think you exist, next week. And what are you going to do to show them? And all of a sudden, we'd go out there for that 2 hours of practice, and we'd row as hard as we could. Not as hard as we thought we could, which is a difference. But the one thing, and I think this is where leaders and captains make a mistake, is they think that it's good enough to just be there. He'd give that nice rah-rah speech. We'd go out there for 2 hours and we row hard. But then we'd go back on campus. We'd go to class. We'd see our girlfriends. We'd go do all these different things. You think I was thinking the same thing 5 a.m. the next day? Hell no. It's a 21-year-old punk kid. Like, I wasn't worried about it. He would always have another thing to re-answer that question why. I think the greatest leaders are the ones that are able to continually answer that question why, is because they know their teammates so well. And I think that that's where great leadership is so rare.